Hey, what's up, guys? Randall from OddsJam back with you today to do some more plus EV betting. Yesterday, we only were able to bet one play on the live stream. Was not a lot out there. NBA is back, so hopefully we will see some more plays that are out there today. Going to just jump right into it, see what is out there. We'll go ahead and refresh the page. Looks like we've got some value here on a couple of these totals here, Houston Baptist and Incarnate Word. I'm going to keep looking here, try to find some bigger market games, or at least see if there's anything out there that's a little bit bigger of a market. It looks like the Kings and the Ducks, that's a 12-cent difference there in the market with 3%. Of expected value. That game is tomorrow. Might be worth locking in. We can just take a look and see. I mean, all the other books looks like plus 100, minus 115. Let's go ahead and take a look at New Jersey, see what's out there. So, I mean, it seems like these lines are definitely moving to the Kings. Let's go ahead and we can maybe lock that one in. Today, it's not until tomorrow, but super tight market, over 3% of expected value. So we'll go ahead and lock that in. If the line is still the same, I would assume that this is going to probably go in our favor. At least it looks like it is. So let's go ahead and get logged in here. You can place a bet on a hockey game to get started for tomorrow. Let's see. Plus 100. So we'll throw 20 on that one. Again, if you're new to the stream, first day watching, betting smaller amounts, showing you that you can, in fact, be profitable using OddsJam, even if you bet smaller amounts. You definitely need to bet more than one or two plays a day from the Plus EV page if you are going to do this and be successful. Unfortunately, in a 20-minute window and me being located here in Illinois, I do not have access to as many sports books as some of you others do. So in a 20-minute little snapshot, it's not a great time for me to be placing bets, which leads to why you need multiple sports books. If you have multiple sports books, you can obviously bet on a whole lot more than what I can say in here in Illinois. So, I mean, there's the Plus EV page for Illinois. Here's the Plus EV page for New Jersey. Much more to bet for New Jersey versus Illinois. So again, having multiple sports books is key in becoming a profitable sports bettor. If you don't know what sports books are in your state, those links are in the description below. Click those, take advantage, sign up for all of them, take advantage of all of the sign up bonuses in your state. So let's go ahead and just take a look here. Oregon and UCLA, 23-cent difference here in the market with. We've got minus 135, plus 112. Oregon is a home dog tonight. We can take a look at Kenny's ratings. We can see what he makes that game. Maybe. Let's see here. Oregon looks like he makes it at about a 6-point spread. So, I mean, take that for what it's worth. Oregon's definitely in a spot here where they win this game. They're probably in the NCAA tournament. So this is a very, very big game for Oregon. And it's Plus EV. I would probably bet this if I were able to, but I don't have MGM. Again, another result of not having multiple sports books here in Illinois, and why you should have if you're in a state that offers MGM, so that you can bet exceptional bets like this right here. You can click on that game. You can see that the consensus line is basically UCLA -3. 3.5 in a couple of spots, minus 110 both ways there on MGM and Borgata. But the rest of the market is actually Oregon +3, and it's juiced to heading the other way, meaning minus 115 would appear that they're potentially looking to move Oregon to +2.5. So +3.5, very, very solid bet there on Oregon. Let's see here. Charleston and Delaware. Charleston looks like there's some value there, so we can take a look. Smaller market game here. We can see Kenny makes this game basically Delaware -2. So you're getting +165. You've got a 26-cent difference here in the market with almost 5% of expected value. So Charleston maybe worth a look there against the Blue Hens from Delaware. Northern Illinois and Buffalo, over under 151.5. We can take a look at that total if you want to. Looks like he makes it 148. So definitely a little bit of value in that. I would bet that if I could, 4%, under 151.5. Can't bet that for two reasons. One, don't have MGM. Two, it's a game that features Northern Illinois. But under 151.5, definitely like that play if I were able to bet it. Robert Morris +10.5, another smaller market game. You can see, looks like he makes that line at about 8. So definitely some value here. I'd probably bet this one as well. 4% of expected value, and you're picking up -110, while the OddsJam Perfect Line has it -132 with a 21-cent difference there in the market with Hawks and the Bulls. Looks like a 19-cent difference here in the market with over under 242.5. This line, I think, has been trending up all day, but it's probably hit its ceiling here. It looks like now some value on the under 242.5. It was 237.5 this morning. I'm not sure why this is not loading. Let's see here. There we go. We can go back and take a look at that. Maybe 230, no, 240 Bulls. All right, looks like that is no longer a play, so it's not on here anymore. So let's go ahead and refresh, see if there's anything else out there. Looks like Oregon has some value on the money line over at MGM. Could have snagged 3.5 a little bit ago. Oregon first half, definitely like that. Don't have money in points bet. Need to get on that. Been saying that for a couple of days. Do like this a lot. 22-cent difference here in the market with. You should see a strong performance out of Oregon here in the first half against UCLA. Long Beach State, UC San Diego, 3.3%. We can take a look at that with Kenny's ratings here. Again, you can get these ratings at kennywhitesports.com if it's something that you're interested in. It's just a tool I like to use with these smaller market games. By no means required to be a successful EV sports bettor. So over 148 plus 117 on Barstool. Looks like he makes that line about 147, 146.5. So pretty well spot on there in regards to that particular total. You can see here, I think we have bet one. So we bet the Kings. That play is still locked in. We're still beating the closing line. Now, if this goes worse than what we would like to see, we'll probably look to cash the Kings out since that game is in fact tomorrow. So we'll go ahead and switch to Illinois. And see what is out there. Blazers, Warriors, 14-cent difference here in the market with over 115.5, 4% of expected value. So we'll see if we can lock that in. Sorry, if you're back to Kenny's ratings, if you're interested in those, you can actually email Greg at KennyWhiteSports.com to find out more about those, if that's something that you are interested in, rather than actually visiting the site. Greg at KennyWhiteSports.com. Let's take a look here and see the first half. Total points, over under 117. Totally missed the boat here. 115.5. So we'll go ahead and refresh. And it's still a play, 117.5. So actually, yeah, it's on the way. This will go away here in just a second. Late to the party on this first half total with the Warriors and the Blazers. Incarnate Word, Houston Baptist. We can take a look at that one. I'm not sure that we did earlier. Looks like he makes that about 147, 141.5 to the under. Looks to be the play there. Again, this is a very, very small market game. It's probably not heavily bet. So that's why I like to look at the ratings, or if I'm betting something like this, I like to wait a little bit closer to game time, just because it's a smaller market game. So that's just kind of my personal preference on that whenever I'm doing it. You can see the under 145 has some value as well. Arizona minus 13 has some value against Utah today. Has some plus money value there. We can see what Kenny makes that. Not a smaller market game, but see he makes that about 12.5. Looks like they're on the road at Utah. So take that one for what it's worth. San Diego plus 13 against St. Mary's on Caesars. 22-cent difference there in the market. So St. Mary's looks like he makes that about 17.5. However, I personally, if I had Caesars, I would bet this. St. Mary's has Gonzaga on deck. So, I mean, this could definitely be a flat spot for them, or at least a look-ahead spot. They're on the road tonight. I believe they actually host Gonzaga. We'll just see. Gonzaga's schedule is right here. Yeah, so they host Gonzaga this Saturday. So definitely a potential look-ahead spot. I mean, that's why you're seeing the money coming in on San Diego, and I do agree with that 100%. San Diego plus 13, minus 110, very solid play. If you can bet that, makes a heck of a lot of sense. DraftKings over 115. Looks like FanDuel moved their line, but maybe DraftKings did not. So we're actually maybe going to get a little bit of better value here with that particular game. We were going to bet over 115.5, and it looks like it's 115.5 now. Let's just take a look and see. So it's actually moved, but yeah, it doesn't look like that's probably as much expected value there looking at that. So going to have to pass on that. We're not getting over 115. We would have to take 115.5. Not sure off the top of my head without going and looking what that EV would be on that in this particular instance. We've got the Kings on the money line. We already locked that in. Arizona minus 10.5. FanDuel, Barstool is that. Looks like the other plays are gone, but let's go ahead and bet that. We can place that on Arizona. Maybe minus 10.5, minus 110. So we can throw 20 on that. 3% of expected value there. Again, we looked at this one earlier already. Kenny makes it about 13. Looking at Gonzaga. ESPN says 17. So we will bet that. We'll throw that in there. Let's see here. So minus 110. We bet that over on FanDuel. You can bet it on Barstool or any of these other books as well. It looks like 20-cent difference here in the market width. So pretty tight market. Some good expected value there. So that's definitely a play worth making in that particular game. Looks like the over 115.5. Oh, okay. So there is some value, 3.3%. So it's not quite the 7 that we saw just a little bit ago. But the market's definitely trending in that direction. So we'll go ahead and hit that for 20 as well. It was a play earlier on FanDuel. FanDuel moved the line on that particular one before we could bet it. So we'll go ahead and we'll lock this in. Hopefully we see a ton of points tonight in the first half of the Blazers and the Warriors game. Hopefully Steph is shooting like he was the other night. St. Thomas and Denver under 141.5. Take a look and see that game. Kenny makes that about 143.5. So just take a look, see if there's any other value out there on this game. Looks like the under 143.5 has some value, but about 2.5%. So not a whole lot of value there. Do see some value here, potentially with Southeast Missouri State and UT Martin over under 157. So again, we can take a look at that and see UT Martin coming off of that close loss against Murray State. Game they probably should have won. They lost that at home to Murray State there. Kenny makes that 154.5. We're picking up 157 minus 110 on DraftKings. So we'll go ahead. We'll bet that. UT Martin, Southeast Missouri State, under 157. We'll throw 20 on that. We'll place that bet. Hop back over here. Again, it is lower expected value, but just using his ratings to see if there's any value from a former odds maker's perspective, and he does see some value there. So we'll lock that in and take advantage of that. Locked in Arizona. So again, we can go take a look and see Quinnipiac and Siena. Siena +3 on Caesars appears to have some value. Kenny makes that a dead pick'em. So if you can bet Siena +3, 2.8%, basically a 50-50 game there, and you're getting 3 points. So that's some good value, in my opinion. Let's refresh the page again. St. Thomas, Minnesota, under 68.5 in the first half, 28-cent difference there in the market width. So a little bit outside the market width there. Under 68 is 4.5% on that particular play. We'll hop over here to the bet tracker. We'll just see we've got our plays locked in. 1 for tomorrow, 3 for tonight. So we will take one last look before we wrap this stream up. Let's go ahead and turn player props on, see if there's anything crazy out there in the world of player props tonight. First night back for the NBA. So plenty of player props. Probably too early in the day to be locking those in. Matt will be back with you 4 Eastern to probably look at those and find some value in some player props there. So be sure to tune into that. Not really seeing anything as far as player props go, at least that are above 5% and within the 40-cent difference there in the market with, which is something that Matt looks for whenever he is doing player props and betting player props from the Plus EV page. So we'll go ahead and hop back over to New Jersey. One last swoop, see if there's anything out there for you all. It looks like blocks and steals for Corey Joseph has some value on Superbook. Pretty wide range there, though, for the market. A little bit outside what you would like to see. Klay Thompson, same thing, a little bit high there. A little bit high on Josh Giddey for the Thunder. Looks like Blazers Warriors again. I mean, this is definitely trending towards the over. Books have just not quite adjusted to that. Turnovers here looks like Darius Bazley over 1.5. I know that is definitely a new market. I'm not sure how he's had turnovers on the EV page. So Michael Bunting over 0.5 point. That's hockey, Toronto, and Minnesota. So turn player props off real quick. Just see if there's anything main market out there on the New Jersey side of things. And you can see it definitely takes away quite a few of the plays that are out there. So probably going to go ahead and wrap this stream up. It looks like Rangers Capitals under 6.5 goals has a little bit of value, 25-cent difference there in the market with little bit heavier juice there on PointsBet and only about 2.6% of expected value. So maybe not worth toying with that. A little bit of juice and pretty low EV play on that particular one in that instance. So gonna go ahead and wrap it up. Again, as always, if you have questions, you can email me, Randall@OddsJam.com, DM me on Twitter @RandallKBets. Any questions you have about OddsJam, any questions you have about sports betting, sportsbook sign-up bonuses, feel free to reach out to me. More than happy to help you out there. As always, check out those links in the description below. Like, subscribe to the OddsJam YouTube channel, and I will be back with you guys tomorrow, and Matt will be with you at 4 Eastern today. So thanks for tuning in, and I will see you guys tomorrow.